Awesome Art, and today I thought I'd share with you guys a simple customization on a pop. I have a video that explains how we do our customs, and it's a lot of work that we do put into our customs, and I know if you're just starting out, to invest that much time and that much effort into a pop maybe isn't what you want to do. This one I am going to theme it for Valentine's Day, and I'm going to wrap it so it looks like Harley is giving it to Batman. So really quickly, the main things you need, the main supplies you need are a pop. It can be any figure, your choice, and then some paint, a brush, and literally one brush, and you also need some water and a paper towel. The optional items that you need that I will be using is a box, some decorative shred paper, some black ribbon, a sealant, buttons, pins, and I think that's everything. Oh, and some chocolates, because mine's going to be Valentine's Day themed. Oh, and I also forgot to mention you will need a pencil, so grab one of those. Everything I'm using in this video is pretty inexpensive. The pop I'm using is one I had lying around. The paint that I'm using, I picked it up at Walmart. It is a Folk Art brand, and it was $1.97 to buy. You need a black and a red for this project. Also, brushes, you can find a pack like this. It brings like 10 brushes for about $3. You really only need one, so if you can find one at an inexpensive price, then go ahead and buy that one. You just want one that's super thin little brush. The first thing you want to do with your pop is wash it off so you get any oils from your hands off or any dirt that your pop might have. Any of the blemishes that aren't coming off, it's okay, don't worry about those. We will hide those, and I'll show you how to do that as we go on. Like I said in the beginning, mine is going to be a voodoo doll, so I'm going to go ahead and now poke in some holes for the pins. There's two ways of doing this. I used a heat gun to do mine. You can also use a blow dryer to do that. I have a video that I will post up with a link to show you how to use a blower. I did it to take off the head, but you can definitely use that those same steps to heat up your vinyl in order to poke the holes in. The reason you want to heat it up is because the plastic's really hard. Once you heat it up a little, it'll get kind of soft and it'll be easier to pinch in. The pins go in much easier in the head than they do the body, so please take your time, please be careful. Your heat gun is very hot, your blow dryer is very hot, pins are very sharp, so please go slow, take your time, and that's kind of why we're doing it now, so we don't slip and take the paint that we just worked on. Now once we've done that and we have our pin holes wherever we're going to put our pins, we now have to start drawing our lines. Okay, for your lines, you can be as creative as you want with your lines. I'm going to show you where I'm going to put mine. You can follow this or you can kind of make up your own thing as you go along. So I really want a seam down the middle of my pop. So I'm going to start at the head and I'm going to go around to the back, just kind of getting the lines as straight as I possibly can with my pencil. And then for this one, I am going to stop right there. And then on the peach part, the skin part, I'm going to draw a line for a little kind of stitched mouth. Just like that. And then I'm going to follow the same line that I did on the head down the body. I'm going to skip the bat logo. Then I'm going to add some on the legs. Just the leg part, not the boot. This side too. I'm going to do the same thing on the arms. I'm going to do the stitches on the arms, and I'm going to lean mine towards the front, so that way when you look at it from the front, you'll kind of see the stitches on the front as opposed to putting them straight down the side, because then from the front view, you really won't see the stitches. So I'm going to lean them a little closer to the front than I would to the back. From here, you can add a couple stitches. I'm just going to do curvy stitches on my pop. So they're just going to be one stitch all the way around. And I'm kind of round them out a little, and I'm going to alternate. You kind of just want them to be kind of in a cross pattern. Then you're going to come around, do that all the way down to the back. just like so. And please take your time, guys. The more time you spend on this, definitely the better it will look. So take your time, don't rush, and I'm sure it'll be super cool. Okay, then you're going to do the same thing to the mouth. The mouth you're going to want to use smaller ones because it is a smaller area, and you're going to need smaller lines. And then the same thing, kind of alternate their pattern, so it's just kind of a crazy pattern. Same thing on the body, you're going to add a couple stitches. And this part you could kind of freehand or you could draw them in, whatever you prefer. I am drawing them in on this one so you guys can follow along, just like so. And then also on the legs. There, 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 and there. Okay, so like I said, this is going to be a voodoo doll. We got our pin holes in, we got our marks in. Now we just need paint. I did buy some cheap black paint, and I also got some red paint, same brand. This is very inexpensive paint, and for me it works just fine. If you do have trouble, I should have opened this before the video. If you do have trouble with this, you're going to want to get a little extra water, some clean water, and that way you can thin out your paint. So this paint works fine for me. I've used it before. It goes on very smooth. If you think it's a little thick, you can water it down. So just grab some water on your brush and kind of dab it right next to your paint, and then kind of just mix it in. And it'll kind of thin out your paint quite a bit. So just be careful when you're doing this, because when you're putting on black, you want it to be solid black. You don't want it to be streaky or really translucent. So just be careful how much water you're adding, and you'll see as you go along, you'll kind of figure it out. The more you do, the more you paint, guys, the more you figure out what works for you. So just always keep that in mind. Okay, now, once we got all our drawn on pencil stitches on, we're just going to go over them with black. A steady hand, go slow, and I'm sure it'll come out really awesome. I get super quiet and I hold my breath when I paint straight lines, so sorry if I'm not very talkative. But yeah, you guys really have to concentrate. It takes a lot of effort to do this. This is not, there's nothing about this that's easy. When you see people do customs, they take effort. So, the main thing I want you guys to remember is don't expect your lines to look like mine, because you're doing them and I'm not doing them. So of course they're going to be slightly different. All of these are supposed to look different because they're custom, so just keep that in mind. Don't get frustrated. The thickness of your lines really doesn't matter because it's just going to be a cute little voodoo doll, so it'll just be super cute. Okay, so yeah, just follow the head along the back to the front, and don't be afraid to move your pop around. I hold it upside down, I hold it sideways, whatever works best to get the best, most straightest line, I don't know, the best line possible. Okay, so there it is, there's my line. Also guys, when you're working with your pop, just be very cautious of what you just put down. So I just put a line down the middle all the way to the back, so I have to make sure that when I hold it, I don't touch that line so I don't smear it. Okay, so I'm going to finish off the top of the head, so that way, once that's dry, I don't have to worry about it. Now I'm just going to go in and do my kind of curvy lines. And you kind of want to thin out the the sides of the lines, and then it kind of gets thicker on the middle, and then it kind of thins out at the ends again. So you can try and do that. This is a really cool project. You can even have your kids do this. It's pretty simple. You can draw the lines for them and then maybe have them paint it on and then give it as a gift. Be a really, really cute gift and a really cool customized gift. When you're doing this, you might want to leave the pins out if you're giving it to a child or if you're having a child do it, and you could call it kind of just like a rag doll type Batman or a rag doll pop instead of a voodoo doll pop. That's funny. Okay. Alright, so once you got your little lines down the center there, we're now going to work on the mouth, so that way my center line can dry. And then, so you're just going to do the center line first and then kind of figure out the tiny ones. I'm going to hold my breath, guys, so I'm going to be very quiet. Okay, there it is. There you go. Alright, now we're going to do the little lines all around the mouth. Kind of want to thin this line out a little bit. There you go. And don't be afraid to go back over your lines a little. Just be careful they don't get thicker and thicker as you go on, so just keep that in mind. Alright, there's one. There's another one. You know what I'm doing? I missed a little bit. Okay, then we're going to do the next one, and the next one, and I'm going to keep going down. Really concentrate, guys, because your lines will change. You'll see ones are really good when you concentrate, and when you're not focused, they go off a little bit. You can always fix them by going over just like I did. Okay, next two more and I'm done with the mouth. 1, 2. Okay, so there's my Batman. I think that's good. Okay, next we're going to do the lines down the body. There's the mouth. Take your time with the body. It is smaller, so just really go slow. The lines are tinier, so they just have to be kind of a quick little brush stroke, so a lot of paint doesn't get on to your brush. Another thing when you're painting is you don't want to pick up too much paint. So when you're painting, that right there is too much paint. You can see, I just got paint all over my hair. No, you can see there that that's too much paint. Like when it's a little ball on your paintbrush, that's too much. So what you want to do is you want to kind of thin out the paint on your brush so it's still a sharp point on your brush even though there's paint on it. Okay, so then that'll give you like a nice thin line to start, and then it'll get thicker as you push down and brush on to your pop. So you're going to start at the top and we're going to go down quite quickly. A lot of paint doesn't absorb on to the pop. Okay. Then we're going to do the little lines across the stomach. And there. Okay, next, oh, we missed this little one over here. So we're just going to go up and down right there. I don't think that needs any stitching lines up there, so we're just going to leave it like that. Also, be very aware of what your paint is doing on your plate or your foil. So always keep a clean cup with clean water, and then you can also re-wet some paint on your little board, because what happens is your paint starts to dry and it gets hard and you're picking that up and then you're trying to paint with that, and you're going to find that it doesn't go on as smooth as you'd like it to. Okay, now we're going to do the arms. You're just going to do the same thing, kind of quick, small brush strokes down the side of the arm, and then you're going to do your little stitch marks along the arms, and then you're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Quick marks, and then across your line. There it is. Okay, then you're going to do the legs. Same thing, down the middle. And then on the other side. Yeah guys, don't worry about how thick or thin your lines are. He is going to be really cute either way, and it is going to be very, it's going to be customized. So it's going to be nice that it doesn't always come out the same. It shouldn't come out the same. That's what custom art is, so. Okay, so once you've done your two lines, you're going to go across, just like we did the arms. Just like that. And there you go. Okay, to this one, I kind of want to add a couple more stitches along the boots and the gloves. So I'm going to do that now. And these are going to be kind of like half stitches. Let me re-wet my paint here. So along the boot, I'm just going to go up, just like that. Just little black marks over the boots, just like that. All the way around. There, and then if you can't reach behind the cape, don't worry about it because you can't lift it anyways, so nobody's going to see under there. Alright, once you do that, mine has a little mark on the foot. You can see it right there. So what I'm going to do with that little mark is I'm just going to make an X. So just like there's an extra stitches right there. So wherever you see like a little dents on your pop that you want to get rid of, you just hide it with some decorative little embellishments. So I'm just going to put a little X right there. Just like so. And there it is. Okay, now once that's done, I'm going to add a heart to, I opened a hole on the right side of the head, on the heart, where the heart is, and then on the right knee. So what I'm going to do is, I want to draw a little heart where his heart would be, since it's a voodoo doll. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline mine in black, and to draw it in with your paintbrush, you kind of just start at the top, and you make your little kind of heart top parts, and then kind of brush down, and you'll make a little heart. And again, make sure your paint is dry, and then feel free to just grab it upside down, however you need to get in there and paint your heart. And again, guys, take your time. If you guys ever wonder how I paint so well, is because it takes me forever to paint a custom. I will spend hours, 5, 8, 10 hours painting one custom. So go slow and it'll come out really, really, really nice. I think that's pretty good. Add a little bit more paint up here. Pull that out a little bit. Okay, so there's my heart. I like my heart. It's very cute. Okay, so now once you got your heart, you're gonna let that dry, and I'm gonna go over it with some red, just on the inside. So I'm not gonna cover all the black, just a little red on the inside. So you're gonna have to wait a minute, let that dry. A lot of people ask me how not to have lumpy paint job. So what happens is when you're painting, as soon as you put your paint on your vinyl, it starts to dry. So once the drying process has started, it's not fully stuck on to your vinyl, but it is starting to dry already. So the top layer of your paint will dry, and the bottom, like between the vinyl and the top layer of your paint, it won't be dry. So when you go over it multiple times with your paintbrush, what you're doing is you're lifting that dried top layer of your paint, and it's not, since it's not stuck on, you're just gonna take the top layer, and that's when you start to get little clumps. I hope that makes sense, guys. I don't know how to explain it really, but you just have to be careful when you paint. You want to go over it as little as possible. So you want to use big brush strokes, and so if you're covering a big area, use a bigger brush, go over it a couple times, and then just let it set, and then go over it again. If you keep going over it, you're taking that top dry layer off, and you're just gonna stay with little clumps everywhere. Hope that makes sense, guys. Alright guys, now that my black is dry, I'm going to go in and just paint in just some red into the heart circles. So, just gonna grab some red, and you're just gonna start kind of at the center and push up. Kind of go around a couple times. Really? Just like so. If you guys do not want to put the black underneath, you don't have to. It's just an option. I kind of like that it's outlined so it looks, it kind of matches all the black stitching. Alright, so there is my heart. Alright, so I just finished that. I think I'm going to add a couple stitches around the bat logo, and I'm going to add some to the arms because I said I was going to do that, but I just forgot that I said that, and I'm going to add them now. Sorry guys, it's really hard to talk and paint, man. So you just want to go in there and paint just the little marks on the arms. Take your time, go slowly, and mark in all of those. Then you're going to go in and paint around the bat logo, just like you did the legs and the arms. The last thing I'm going to add to this is I'm going to put a little X where I'm going to put one of the little pins. So on the top of the head, right where I'm going to put the pin, I'm going to make a little X just to add some stitch marks to that part right there. And then also, if you guys see any little blemishes that you want to cover up, you can go ahead and do that now with little stitch marks wherever you want to add them for all the paint job right now. So at this point, you can either finish, you can be done, or you can add whatever little extras you want to add to this. I also thought if you're giving it as a gift, it would be cute to maybe put to and from on the back of the head, or maybe a little like note that you want to add it to here, or to the back of the head. You can also use a Sharpie to do this. One of the really thin ones, you can just write on it with the Sharpie if you want to write a little message on your pop. And then also to this, you of course want to sign the bottom of the foot. So you're going to use a Sharpie, and you're just going to go ahead and sign at the bottom. You're going to put your name on it and maybe the date, so 2016. So that way they'll remember. Alright, so now that I am done with my paint job, at this point, this paint pretty much is stuck on there. Of course, if you rub at it, it might come off. At this point, you can seal it with a sealant, and then that way it kind of preserves the artwork a little better than just leaving it with nothing on it. So I'm going to seal mine with a spray-on primer. Okay, so my custom is now dry. I took them outside and we sprayed them down. It's Rust-Oleum Crystal Clear Enamel. I believe that's what it's called. It's right here. There's a picture of it. It works really good. You can get that at Walmart as well. The reason I sealed it is so my paint job will last a very, very long time. It'll be sealed on to the vinyl. Normally all our customs, we do prime them first, and then we have to repaint the entire thing and then seal them. And the reason we do that is so that the artwork really is preserved. This, I wanted to make it as simple as possible. So we skipped the priming part on this custom, painted it, and then sealed it on. There he is. He's super cute. I'm going to go ahead and post a video of how we actually do our vinyls, our customs, so you guys can see that, just in case you're interested on taking a look at that. We show you how to prime, seal, paint, take the head off, vinyls, sand them, all that good stuff is in that video, so go check that out. That's a really long process, a lot of steps, so go check that out if you're interested. This is just a really quick way to do this one. Now that the paint job is done, what we're going to do is we're going to embellish it a little bit more. So mine is going to be a voodoo doll, so I'm going to add my pins and some buttons. I picked out 2 buttons from my bag, and I picked out some pins that I like. I like the ones with the red heads, and then also the bigger heads, because there's some in there that have tiny little heads, and then I'm just picking out the ones with the bigger heads. So I picked 2 red ones and a little white one. I'm going to put the red one up on top, and all you're going to do is kind of find the hole that we made before. It's a little tricky because we painted over it, but you can kind of find where it dents and just go ahead and push it into the vinyl, the plastic, or the vinyl. It's a little trickier now because the vinyl is hard, but if you just work at it, it should go in. The head will be a little bit easier than the rest of them. So the heart, find the little mark and start pushing in. If you're having a hard time getting them in, you can also heat up the vinyl just a little bit, just like you did before with the blow dryer. And your paint job should be fine. Just keep it very, very minimal, the amount of heat that you put on your vinyl. That should do it. So find your hole and push it in. Again, be very careful. Your tools are hot and sharp, so just make sure you're being super, super safe. Okay, last one is the knee, and there it is. Found the hole, push it in. Alright, the one on the foot is super long and it looks weird, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut mine. I'm going to cut my pin. So I'm just going to take some pliers. And I'm going to warm up my knee just a tiny bit. Again, be super careful, guys. Make sure an adult's doing this part. Everything's super hot. Alright, so there's that. And find the hole, and we got really soft. Alright, cool. There it goes. Yay! Okay, so there he is. Little voodoo Batman. There he is, guys. Oh, he's so cool. Okay, so now that we have all our pins in, I'm going to embellish this one a little bit more. I thought it'd be super cute if he had little button eyes. So we're going to add those to this guy, and he's going to look kind of like that. I went through my bag of buttons, and I picked out ones that I thought would be super cute. I kept them black so they match the stitches, but you can use whichever color. And I also alternated the size. So one's bigger than the other. You guys can see that, right? Okay. So he's going to look like that. To glue on the eyes, you can use E6000 glue. And this one's a quick hold. But any E6000, I think you get at Walmart as well, and it would glue on. You can also use, I'm pretty sure with a glue gun, they'd stick on there pretty well too. So if you don't have this, you can definitely use a glue gun if you have that in hand. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit to the eyeballs. And then I'm just going to add a tiny bit to the buttons. I'm going to let that set there for a second. And then, so I think that's pretty much all the embellishments I'm going to do to mine. You can definitely be super creative. I am going to post this on our Facebook, facebook.com/teamsuperawesomeart. And you can, I'm going to pin mine to the top of our page, and then you can add yours to that. If you guys do make one, we'd love to see it. So definitely check out our Facebook page and show us yours. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and drop the eyes right on our little voodoo doll Batman. And I'm just going to let him sit there so they dry. There he is. Okay, so now that our custom is actually done, I'm going to make a box for him. I'm going to be using a red box. And I got this one at the dollar store for $1. I got it during Christmas, but it kind of matches with Valentine's Day, so we're going to use it for Valentine's Day. I'm pretty sure they have something like this at the dollar store for $1, or Walmart, or your craft store. So, box, I bought some black ribbon for $1, also at Walmart. I bought some candies. I think this was like at CVS, this bag. And I bought some decorative paper. All I'm going to do now is fill up my box. And I tried to keep it kind of Harlequin themed, so I tried to keep everything red and black for this one. I feel like Harlequin would leave Batman a creepy voodoo doll of himself on his doorstep, so that's kind of the theme I went for. So I got everything black and red, and it was pretty easy to find all the red things because it is almost Valentine's Day. So once you have your box with your shredded paper, you're going to open your little heart candy, and you're going to throw those inside the box as well. And this is really cute. I kept it Harlequin themed. You can also get a green box and do poison ivy if you like, or you can use a red box and put maybe glue some leaves on the box and make it poison ivy themed. So you can do a lot of really cool things with this. So I'm just going to fill mine with some hearts. I'm going to set Batman in the middle of the box with all the hearts around him. Just like that. So he sits like that. A little voodoo Batman. And then make sure you can close the box with the pins. So there he is. He's inside. And he looks like that. So super cute. And then just to decorate the top, I'm going to use my ribbon. So I'm just going to tie a bow in black, so it's black and red. Just like that. And again, if the person you're giving to is a Deadpool fan, you could do a Deadpool voodoo doll or a Joker voodoo doll. Pretty much anything can be a voodoo doll. Okay, so there's my box, and I'm just going to cut the ribbon. Just like that. And then I also made a little printout, and it just says "Be Mine," and then in black I put "You Will," and I put XOXO Harley on the little paper, the little heart sticker, and I'm just gonna cut it out. Okay, so there's my heart. I'm gonna string a little black thread onto it, so then I can hang it from my bow. There it is. Alright guys, there he is. On top of this guy, I also made this little voodoo doll. It's a little Joker voodoo doll, and I wrapped him a little different. I'm going to do a quick time-lapse video of this guy at the end of this video, so please stick around for that. I'll also add pictures of this guy. If you guys do try this out and make one for Valentine's Day, for your Valentines, or for yourself, I'd love to see pictures of your voodoo doll, so please leave them at our Facebook page, facebook.com/teamsuperawesomeart. I'd love to see them. Please share with us your little voodoo doll. Comment below if you guys have any questions on any of these. Also guys, I'd love to hear your ideas on which characters would make awesome little voodoo dolls, so leave those in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and as always guys, subscribe to see more cool stuff from us in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching.